Alrighty then, it is Monday, it is 7 o'clock, and it is that time again. So this week on Drift Crash, I'm going to talk about my S15. Haven't really done a focus on the car, and the plans have changed because of, obviously, we've all been stuck indoors for quite a while and the world's gone mad. You've seen the car previously, in sort of sliding about and doing whatever. With the old Violent D livery on it, designed by myself and Craig Weston from Violent D. You should go and check him out because he is an absolute master. He is also partly responsible for the update of the look of the car. It's a bit of a long story. So the last time I went out, had a few bumps, and basically the paint on the car was it was some paint that I had laying around, which was solvent-based aerosols. So we sort of blasted the car with those. Wasn't really taking it overly seriously. We sprayed it then with water-based lacquer and then put the graphics on. The solvent paint hadn't dried properly, so it was kind of sweating out this like solvent and chemically stuff into the water-based lacquer, which meant that the lacquer never actually fully hardened. So if I got a bump, the lacquer fell off. So what that meant is that doing repairs or replacing stickers or anything was going to be impossible. Craig has been out and about designing all these new liveries for all these guys out competing, and frankly he made mine look quite normal. I thought to myself, well, I can't have that. I need to push the boundaries a bit. So myself and Craig have got a new plan for the graphics. Drifting is all about looking cool as far as I'm concerned. So I've changed the aero now, but before it was a Uraz kit. Now it's an Origin kit, an Origin Raijin kit. And Raijin is literally meaning the god of thunder and lightning. So I don't know, I guess the Japanese version of Thor, if you like, which was a kit that was designed for, or possibly designed by Naoki Nakamura for his D1 car. I'm pretty sure you've all seen that going around. Connor Shanahan, Becky Evans also running the same kit, and frankly it looks awesome, so I figured that was a good idea. Obviously the look of the car has changed considerably. It now has the Raijin kit on there, as I mentioned. It also has a Garage Mac bonnet, which I've wanted one of those for absolutely years, and I managed to trade that for a standard bonnet, because now standard stuff is becoming more and more expensive, and for some reason people don't want Mac bonnets, which makes no sense to me, but okay. I've also removed the headlights and fitted some headlight covers, mostly so I can just repair damage easily. There's less to go wrong at the front. I don't want to hit the front corner of the car and it cost me hundreds of pounds in lights when it could cost me not a lot in fiberglass. I've kept the rear wing because I quite like that. However, I have got a spare boot lid and I will put a smaller wing on there if I want the car to rotate a little more quickly, or it's not holding out angle at high speed. Then I may change the wing for a low mount wing, or for a sort of like a ducktail wing or something like that. So on the exterior you'll also notice I have a big pink jacking bar. That is a product from Cage Laser. You can buy one if you've got an S15 and you want to jack your car up quickly, and also protect your chassis, because I've taken a few direct impacts. I tend to go backwards into things quickly, and thus far it has saved my bacon and stopped my car getting crumpled much worse than it should have been. Moving on to the interior, continuing with the pink theme, you'll see that I've got a Cage Laser bolt-in roll cage with double door bars. The driver's door bar has been slightly altered to clear my elbow when you're drifting, especially because I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so I run my arms quite close to myself, so I've got a lot of leverage, and I tend to have to clang my elbow off roll cages. So that's been adjusted for me, which I am very thankful for, because I've had blue elbows quite a few times. I also have a couple of Bride bucket seats. There's a bit of a theme here with Bride seats. They're just comfy. Like I say, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so they fit me quite well. It's got a Vertex steering wheel, which is fancy, and I've just generally tried to minimize what's actually in the car. The next step will be to start pulling out sound deadening and wires that I don't need, and anything that doesn't need to be there will be removed, because it's, you know, it's just something that can potentially go wrong or be in the way. I'm also in the midst of putting in the DY engines that Dave kindly built for me. It's 2.1 litre. It has a Garrett G25 660 turbo on it. I was talking with the mapper Martin at MB Automotive, and he is thinking that we should be able to clear 500 horsepower quite easily with that engine, so quite excited about that. I'm using a Yashio factory radiator, which I believe are manufactured by Koyo anyway, but it's a copper radiator, so you know, that's what I've got. I have got spare Koyo copper radiators. As far as I'm aware, those they're as good as each other, so that's what's in the car. Big old oil cooler, power steering cooler, and then I've got a gradient cooler which I'm custom piping. There's enough room for the pipes to run where the headlights would have been, which means the pipes can be a lot shorter. I know, looking at the pipes, I could probably make the bends a bit more aggressive and make the pipe shorter, but I'm trying to keep a reasonable amount of flow, and you know, just obviously create bends in there where if I do take an impact, there are failure points in that pipe work, so it won't just like mush the pipe into the throttle body, or you know, destroy all of the piping. You know, there'll be silicon in there, so the silicon fail instead of the impact going directly into the engine, and you know, potentially the engine ingressing some aluminium from the intercooler or pipe work or whatever. So I've also added a throttle body from an SR20DE, which is the normally aspirated version of the SR, which is slightly bigger and also doesn't have some of the vacuum pickups in the throttle, and the warming jacket on it is you know, easily removed. So I've cut that off, you know, and just made it as simple as it can possibly be. Easier to deal with, less to go wrong, and less things to have to kind of mess about with trackside if you've got a leak or anything. Those pipes just don't exist, so they shouldn't be a problem. Not that you can see from the top, but the car is running a CDO9 gearbox with a Mazworks bell housing conversion. Obviously, you know, if you watch the previous video, you know, we can link you back, go and look at the engine video, which, you know, tells you all about the fancy Nismo clutch it's running and all the other bits. Tomei two-way differential with a 4.3 final drive. The outputs from the diff are from an R32 GTR Skyline, so they are the 6x1 output flanges, and it has 350Z drive shafts. In terms of suspension, you know, like I said in the setup video, you'll see that I've got very big spacers. I'm running a 17x9 inch wheel with a -55 offset. I know a lot of people will suddenly go, but what about your wheel bearings? Well, wheel bearings, you know, they're pretty cheap in reality. Like, you know, they're £80, £100, and realistically, most of the cars that we're getting over from Japan, or the ones in the UK, have had the same wheel bearings on for 10, 15, 20 years, and they haven't failed. So if you're willing to, you know, go drifting on tyres that are 70, 80 pounds each, but you're not willing to change wheel bearings every couple of rounds, so you kind of got your priorities a bit weird. So yeah, bugger it, got big spacers. I'm also running 10 degrees of front camber. The toe is pretty straight, front and rear. That will be changing as I go into competition, and I'm not driving for fun, I'm driving to, you know, to win. So I'm there to beat people rather than to drive with them. So that'll change. The rear camber is 1 degree. There's nothing really crazy fancy about it. Traction links stock length. There's really nothing fancy about the suspension at all. I'm running Naoki's B knuckles. They're just more than adequate for the job, and a set of adjustable tension rods. Like, it's really simple, and I'm depending more on the coilovers and the suspension and setting them up correctly than I am on anything else. As far as dampers go, my front springs are a 9 kilo Swift spring, and the rears are a 5 kilo Swift spring. I highly recommend Swift springs. I'm not sponsored by them. It would be nice if it was, but I pay for them. They're expensive, but they are the best, and they're just the best. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to with the car. what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, next few weeks, is we'll be finishing up the bits inside the car. I'm going to be mapping the car with MB Automotive, and then we're going to be out testing, hopefully, before we end up going to competition in August at the first round of BDC in Driftland in Scotland. Now, speaking about updates, I do put regular Instagram stories out now that we're allowed to get back out again. So I do have a bit of a competition for you this week to do with my Instagram and with BDC. BDC are promoting a new service which is called BDC Insider. Now, obviously, with the restriction in events, they're not allowed spectators at some of the rounds. You know, there might be in the future, but initially that's certainly not the case. In my own opinion, I think it's important that we support our own drift community and our own championship, and just generally like get behind drifting and make it work again. So with that in mind, I have a couple of things that you can do to help, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to win some pretty savage prizes by doing so. So the first thing to do is go to my Instagram, which is at heathen_defiance, and there is a post on there relating to this video. I'll put a big Drift Crash logo, and I need you to follow my Instagram and make a comment on that post to enter yourself in the draw for the prizes. I need you to go to Facebook and go to the BDC Insider page. It's a new page that they've set up. They'll put a post on there which you can then put your name on, and that will also enter you in the draw there. You need to do both of these things and be following both pages. They can tell you how to join up and support the championship this year and potentially in the future. You know, if this works out well, it'd be a great way to kind of support drifting and just keep the whole thing going, really. Now, what can you win by doing that? I'll show you now. So I'm going to do 3 prizes, and this is the first one in this lovely 326 power bag. And what I've put inside here is just basically a little goodie bag of stickers like 326, Carson. There's a lanyard. There's some Japanese toothbrushes because everyone needs clean teeth. So in second place is this goodie bag in a genuine RE Amamiya bag, which is pretty awesome. A lot of the gifts in here are sponsored by Jack West Mods, who are the RE Amamiya dealer for the UK, so that was very nice of him. He is also a Vertex dealer. So inside this bag is a Vertex nano metal. So this is designed for restoring your plastic headlights. So if you have a Japanese import, you can use this stuff. It's got some magic sauce inside it. You clean your headlights off, give them a spray, and then cover them in this stuff, and they'll look like brand new. So it's actually really good. There is a Vertex Lang sticker, Carson Performance sticker, a couple of Zach Nova stickers, and a Zach Nova tow hook to strap to your vehicle. So first place, well, there's no bag, sorry about that. Well, it kind of is a bag, but we'll get to that. So Carson Performance lanyard. Low Origin have chucked a couple of stickers in, so you can find out where the Saurine goes. A couple of Carson stickers. These are Zach Nova wheel covers, so if you go into events and you're taking wheels with you, these little bags that your wheels go inside, which is super useful because it stops your car interior getting knackered. And then I have this little doozer, which is a Origin hoodie all the way from Japan. I am reluctant to give this away because I would like to keep it for myself because it is cool. And I'm going to give a pair of Zach Nova Super Sport tyres away to the winner. So these tyres and all those bits, so it's quite a good prize, I think, and you know, these things are brilliant. So added to all of that, the BDC have kindly offered to give away a year's free subscription to the BDC Insider website. So basically the website is all about you interacting with the drivers, with other fans, getting pre-release content, getting access to the streams for the events. It is everything you need to be involved in the British Drift Championship this year, so you can support the series and just stay connected. And that's going to go to the grand prize winner. Thank you very much to all the guys that have donated prizes. So that's Carson Performance, Low Origin, Jack West Mods, Zach Nova, me, and the BDC. Remember, all you need to do is head to my Instagram, heathen_defiance, like the post, follow me, and then go over to Facebook, find the BDC Insider page, like the post, follow the page, and you are entered. That's it. I'll come back in a week's time. I'll just drop a quick video on the channel to announce the winner and or winners, and then yeah, we'll just go from there. So good luck. So that is the end of the episode for this week. It may seem a bit all over the place. I'm a bit all over the place, and that's just how it's going at the moment, I guess. Say every single week, you know, likes and shares are brilliant. I really appreciate if you guys do that, but what I really want is comments, interaction. Tell me about your drifting, ask questions. If I can help you, let me know. If there's things that you want to see me put in the videos, let me know, so we can kind of like all move forwards together. And other than that, good luck with the competition. I'm crying inside about giving tyres away. This is a first for me, because you know, like tyre sponsorship is not easy, for sure. So giving them away is very traumatic, and I'm sure I'll come to terms with it at some point. So anyway, enjoy yourselves. See you in a couple of weeks where we'll have some more content for you, and maybe some. I'm in a toss-up at the moment between more technique stuff or more live action-y type stuff. Either way, let me know which one you like, because that's all I got. That's all I got.